data. But what have you done in either school project, internships, volunteer, work experience? What things have you done that showed that you achieved some kind of goal, or were working toward an end goal even, if you can't point to a specific goal? And then how well does your CV reflect that value? Are you sharing those specific stories on your CV instead of just listing your duties and responsibilities? That's important as well. And then what is the first impression that you make? Again, a lot of you, I'm sure, because I find this is true with a lot of the clients I work with, come across great in an interview type situation or over the phone, but you still have that piece of paper and the online presence that has to get you in the door, right? So it is very important to spend that time on your CV and make it clear, grammar proof, and something that people want to, it motivates them to want to talk to you further. So to get into more detail about that, let's go to the next slide, please. What tools should I be using? The first, and I think you have to click through this, I'm sorry, each line. The first is LinkedIn, of course, and this was something that I know you all requested to talk about. So here are some top line pieces. Of course, we can't go through the whole thing, but the professional headline is very important. Try to use all the space that it affords you, which I believe is 120 characters, but make it relevant. Don't just state the job title that you want. State who you are, and what you're looking for. Make it important, because that'll help you get more views. And if you use keywords for the type of jobs you're looking for, that's helpful. At the same time, a lot of people forget to actually include their email address, which is important if you want to be contacted by hiring managers or recruiters. I think the next, if you click over, the next is the summary. That's the hardest part. Nobody likes the summary, but you should have one. And the reason, again, is it can help you increase the number of keywords to get found in recruiter searches. So in there, what you want to think of is what makes you unique. Again, what are the things, think about what fellow students have said about you, fellow classmates, professors, people you've worked with. What are you recognized for? What have you noticed that makes you different from the other people you studied with, the people you've worked with? Try to bring those out in the summary, because that's what's going to help you stand out. And then the next thing is job descriptions. You can click over. That is important to give details for, again, for the purpose of keywords. But there, the most important thing to remember is you should include a current entry, even if you're not working. And here's why. A lot of recruiters will not search for people without a current job entry. So what you can do is include the title you're targeting and any phrases that talk about how you're searching for a job in the company name field. And you can put any other details in the description box. But it is very important to do that, or else you might not get found in searches. For the next point, it's skills. Clicking over, it's really important to think about the quality rather than quantity. I know you're allowed to use a lot of skills. I think it's 50 or so, if not more now. But think about the ones that are most important, again, toward what you want to do, right? So if you're transitioning in your career and you think business development or sales is still important to what you're going to do, of course you should include it. But if you have something that's customer service focused and you don't think you're going to be working in that field again, and you have other skills that are competing for that space, then use the skills that are more relevant toward what you want to do. And then, most importantly, along with contact information, set your profile to public so it can be viewed. Otherwise, there's not any chance for you to be found. The next thing is somebody asked a question about LinkedIn versus the CV and how they should compare. Now, it is important to align them as closely as possible. So you don't have to have all the information in your CV that you do on LinkedIn. That's the great thing about LinkedIn because you have more space. But make sure that they line up, because if there are red flags that there's one job listed on your CV and it's not on LinkedIn, a recruiter might say, I wonder if they're trying to hide or why is that not there? So try to make sure that they're lined up. And we'll talk more about this as we look at some CVs, but it's okay to have more in your LinkedIn profile. Make sure it's relevant. There's no reason to have too much information if it doesn't apply at all. And also don't overdo recommendations. I had someone recently tell me they have like 50 or 100 recommendations, and I just was shocked. I think that's a little too much. So there are some areas you can overdo that you should be careful about. And I've also seen people post recently about politics on LinkedIn. I would not recommend that. That's good for Facebook, but I would recommend keeping LinkedIn for purely professional for your own benefit, whether you're posting in groups or on your own site. Personal website, the next line on the slide. I have mixed feelings about this. I know it's become more popular. I think that as long as you have a good LinkedIn profile, you're pretty much set. But if you have other things you want to feature, like publications that don't fit on your CV, or you have a design background and you want to showcase more of your work, this can be an easy way for employers to find you. Do use one on WordPress or another site. You want to include a link to your LinkedIn profile, of course, as well as your CV. And any other place employers may find you, like Twitter, Facebook, etc. The next and last piece off the slide is opinion pieces. Now, this could be anything from commenting in LinkedIn groups on a particular topic in your area of expertise or professional interest. This could be writing blog posts, either on your personal website or on LinkedIn about what you're an expert about. Just make sure that it's thoughtful, because if it's completely unrelated, then it can hurt you more than it can help you. So the next slide, where we really delve into